And just give me 1 more minute. To the test system. Okay, cool. Share my screen. I see there's a question. Is there a job bait for Xerox Service Pios? No, there isn't, but I am gonna create one today. And then I'll work with Pauline, then we will send that out. So I'll work on that right after this. I have like 2 more other meetings after this, so I'll get that out to you guys today.
You mean you're gonna be giving us step by step?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so all right. So we first, as soon as you go get to your guided by landing page, you're gonna go to request a non-catalog item. So here would be Xerox tests. And you're gonna choose this category code, which is equipment lease. The description is basically you have a new lease. Let's say it's for 36 months. So you're gonna state 36-month lease. Beginning
I'm about to go on a
June
Zoom that I need
1st
So
to May 31st, 2025. It's 3 years. Then you're gonna put monthly amount is let's say 300. And as you know, you put the contract number, and this is contract number 2345. All right, so now here you're gonna put 1 unit of measure. So you're gonna go to month. So this would be monthly. If you want a quarterly payment, you can do quarterly. Like if you have, it's not on here, it's not on test, but it's on production. There's a quarterly option, there's a yearly option. So you will have that. Choose the month, and then, as you know, it's 300. Then you click add to cart. Go check out. So the need by date will basically be when the lease ends. So the lease ends in 2025. So you put May 31st, 2025. So what will happen is that once everybody approves, this 300 will be spread out all the way to May 31st, 2025. Hold on, one. So contract start date will be basically June 1st. Invoice plan, monthly invoice plan.
Quick question, Jorge.
Yeah.
When do you want the payments to start from? From June or July?
So be for, so the lease started in June, so the first payment would be June, correct?
Okay, so then the invoice plan type should be monthly invoice plan advance.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if it starts before the first payment, you have to choose advance, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. And then, of course, Xerox.
Sorry, Jorge, say that again. If the invoice is due in May and we're creating it in June, you're telling me that it should be monthly invoice plan advance?
Correct.
No, the contract start date, put in May 1st. Okay,
It will be, yeah, it should have been May, but we're
Yeah.
creating it in June. So I'm
that's
saying that
fine.
if it's created in June and it's paid, and we should have paid in May, the monthly should be invoice plan advance.
Yeah, the contract start date will be May 1st, as well as invoice plan type would be monthly invoice plan advance. The only difference between monthly invoice plan advance is it looks at the contract start date. If you say June 1st is your contract start date and you have selected monthly invoice plan advance, then the payments will start from June 1st. But if you would have selected monthly invoice plan, the payments will start from the following month. That's the only difference.
Gotcha.
But the
Thank-
contract start date should be exactly what's on the contract. May,
Okay.
May 1st, June
Right.
1st, March 1st, whatever it is.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Corey.
Sure.
And then I don't have it in tests, but the contact, as you know, if you have an old Xerox lease, it will be Xerox Corporation. But if you have a new Xerox
Yes.
lease, it'll be Xerox Financial. And you will place that there. Task code will be 0. You will have to select that, and then you will choose your fund. And then that's pretty much it, and you could do this with real estate, any type of like, anything that you need on a monthly basis for equipment or real estate leases, that will fall under material. It will be like the same way.
Jorge, how about service contract? Have we gotten anywhere with the monthly service contracts?
I will get back to you on that. Yeah, we're trying to work on something and we have to complete a test on that.
So what should we do for the new fiscal year currently?
For now, you can create just a service PO until we able to fix that option for the automatic payments.
So if we create a service PO, and we get invoices, let's say we get the monthly invoices.
Yep.
And they use that to pay the PO, will the PO still be open, that it won't close it out because it's made a payment?
Correct. Yeah, it will still remain open.
Okay,
Yeah. So do that for now until we're able to, and we'll set up another session for just the service POs for the automatic payments.
got it.
All right.
Yeah, and one other thing here, the description that you put in, it's very important for the vendor to know that this 300, because vendor will see the PO amount as 300. So to avoid any confusion, it's good that you add the description saying that this is a monthly amount and the contract start and end date is June 1st to May 31st of 25. I mean, whatever those dates might be, so that vendor do not reject saying that this is only $300 PO. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
There's
just
some
make
additional
sure,
questions
and
coming through the
we'll-
chat.
I'm sorry?
If you're done, there's some additional questions coming through the chat. I just wanted to bring to your attention. What if the lease has ended and you're paying month to month for a Xerox machine?
So for that case, well, the month to month, according to, well, Elena should provide you a month to month agreement. So you got to upload that. If it's for a year, it should be that. But I know Elena must apply some type of quote for like the month to month.
All right.
Contract, so it should be just for a year.
Okay, and the next question was, do we upload the lease agreement?
Yes, you do.
All right, now I assume there's a tab somewhere where they can just attach the lease.
Yeah, just go to attachments, and then you just go to browse, drag, or you could drag it from your folder, and then you click on the share with supplier, and then you click add. That's it.
All right. Okay, and there was a last question was, and maybe you already addressed this, is Aliyah or Alia, can you expand on your question? Just as how do we set up a service PO? Could you expand on what do you mean by that?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna get there.
let's
Sorry,
complete the leads first.
Thank you.
Having a hard stop under the shipping tab where it says ERS allowed, yes or no. So for ERS, just keep it as no.
No. At the header, at the line item, always have to be yes.
Yes, right, okay. Right.
And that defaults actually to yes. So yeah, ensure that it is yes if you're setting up a automated invoice installation.
A question, if ER is allowed, you say yes, but do I have to do the ER, the ER fund?
The of FR you mean?
Yeah, the ERS.
No.
Is that the ER fund reservation that we're doing?
Right. So basically ERS allowed, yes, that's in the backend SAP system. It is setting up automatic invoicing.
Okay, but I have to create one then. I didn't think I had
No,
to.
you don't have to.
Okay,
This
good.
will take care of that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so there was a question. Do you want, is there a possibility to change labeling of need by date? We will check, but this need by date, it's not just related to this order here. So that need by date is used on also on the catalog, non-catalog orders, as well as the same field we are leveraging for leases to know what is the end date. But we'll check if you can add some additional tooltip where you can put your browser and we can add some text there. Okay.
Yeah. And as far as for Sharon's question, I believe you're trying to do it on the service, not on the material. That's where you keep getting that error. And for Stephen, are we using this for hearing aid payments? So Stephen, are you gonna get invoiced the same amount every month or different amounts every month?
No, it's gonna be different amounts. You know, those monthly payments. Well, actually, no, I take that back. This is for the lines of credit. The
Got
zero,
it. So yeah, we're gonna create that as a service PO, and I'm gonna get to that in a few minutes.
okay.
Okay, so there's a question from Joanna. Do we need to enter the lease for the entire lease term? What if we need to change the fund number in the future before the lease ends? Is there an option to do a PO annually? Go ahead, Arhe, you want to answer that? Or we can use different line items actually.
Yeah, so you could change the fund. That wouldn't be an issue. Like once it's created, you basically would, here you have a withdrawal option or edit option. And then you'll be able to basically let me see if I find another so for example, I'm just going to use this as an example. So basically change requests, and then you'll be able to change your funding. And then once you change the funding, we'll go through the approvals again. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you, Jorge, Praveen.
Sure. The default is currently known. Oh, got it. Thank you. Right. Sometimes Xerox charges us overage for certain machines, so the month-to-month charge fluctuates. So for the printing charges and everything, that will be a separate PO. And you will so technically you will create a service PO for that, and I will get to that now. So before I get to that, any questions on the Xerox leasing or the automatic payment option? Will Xerox invoice WCM Finance directly? You can request that from Elena. I don't see why not for Jeff. But remember these invoices.
Jorge, you mentioned Elena. Not everybody know who's that is. Can you just type her seaweed into the a chat, please?
Actually, it's her email. So actually, Jeff, for these automatic invoicing, that the system generates that, not Xerox. That's how it submits the payment.
I think we used to have to go to a website in order to make credit card payments in the past, but we were able to view all of our Xerox instruments by serial number and then track and print invoices.
Jeffrey's right on that, because I had also access to the Xerox invoicing.
So I think we'd love to still have some oversight. I just wonder how that's going to work with Ariba and Xerox.
Okay. Praveen? I'm not sure. I will have to. Well, the only thing I can do is to sit with Elena, to let her know how our system works as far as for payments, and then you guys can still have access to review your invoices.
Yeah, if you don't mind sending me the contact info, I'd love to set up a separate call with her.
Okay.
But I do have a question, Jorge.
Yeah.
The invoices automatically goes through the to the network to get paid.
Yep.
Okay.
That is correct.
So I didn't fully follow the question, but is the question to address overages on the same invoice?
No. The question was like, how do they, basically manage the invoices that Xerox creates upon the invoices that Ariba creates? So I mentioned that, I'll have a session with Elena, to make sure, just to keep those invoices that she creates just for review, and not to submit to AP.
Yeah, got it. Okay, but there is a question on the overages though.
Yeah, I told him to create a service PO,
No, what's up?
which I'm gonna create.
Yeah. So Jorge, what we can do is add a separate on the same
All right,
requisition.
hold on. She just went upstairs to get her phone. What?
Okay, I think okay. So on the same PO, one line is being created for the lease, which is a recurring payment for the same fixed amount. The second line you can create for any overages that you think you might be receiving. So you're like kind of blocking some funds against it. And when the invoice comes in, the vendor can send the fixed, the invoice for the overages matching to the line item 2. That can be processed because we don't know what those overages are, right? Every month.
Right. So we can create.
But that's going to be difficult because each department or each area of a department will be printing so much that we don't know what's the overage of it. So can they invoice separately and then we can do that on an e-form?
Yeah.
Because we don't know. We can't budget for
Right.
what's going to be spent monthly besides the leasing. I mean, I only know because in my department, I had to pay those on an e-form.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah,
Okay.
you can use that existing process as well.
Thank you.
And that might be easier if you think that you cannot budget for it ahead of time.
So if we can budget for it, we can put a extra line item
Corporation, corporation.
in materials, but the problem is that if you put one, then you know, that's the issue there.
Wait, I thought
Can you create
consumables,
material in a service PO?
I thought services and consumables were separate vendors.
Comment.
What you mean, Jeff?
I think Barbara had mentioned that the Xerox lease agreement is under Xerox Financial Services, but the consumable contract with Xerox for replenishment toners is a totally
Right,
different
yeah,
account.
that's on the car. Yeah, that creates a different PO. But like if you have like a Xerox corporation lease, then that falls into one. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
So like we
So-
have the old lease,
I have a brand new lease, a brand new instrument that I want to buy. And I think it
that
was
will
rejected
fall
because you said it had to be
under-
under Xerox Financial Services.
correct.
But I have 3 other existing contracts for instruments. Should that go into Xerox Corporation?
If the existing one was created, or were they created like 2 years ago?
Just about, maybe
Yeah,
longer.
so those fall under Xerox.
And if the replenishment for toners and parts,
That will fall under Xerox as well.
so we basically can use one vendor for both the lease agreement and the parts consumables.
Correct. For the ones that are 2 years old. Now, for your new one that you want to purchase, you have to create another PO, which is under, let me go into that real quick. Which is the car business.
And that will be under services.
And
The
that will
car
fall under
business.
services, correct. Oh, it's not on here. This is the test one. Yeah, that will fall under services. For the Xerox financial leases. Does that work, Jeff?
I'm still gonna try to put my head around a materials PO for a lease agreement and a service PO for toners and parts.
Yeah.
Hold on, the thing
Hi,
is,
Holden.
oh, I'm so sorry. Quick question. The
Yeah.
Xerox, when you do it's under goods, it's not services, because in the beginning, when you were doing the training, you had emphasized that it was services. So now it's
Correct.
changed to goods. So now that it's good, the ones, when the new leases, the contract will be Xerox Finance. That's the most important thing, that it has to state the contact should say.
Right, so let me go to.
It will be Xerox, but the contact will have to be Xerox Finance. That's very important.
Correct. Let me show you in production. That's the right. No, you got me live down. Give me 1 minute. That me? Yeah, that's me. So you see here? Let me go ahead. So when you select Xerox, you're gonna have Xerox, so you're gonna have both of them. So the new one is gonna have the Xerox Financial Services, the new leases that you're gonna purchase moving forward. This started maybe last year, like middle of last year. Any of the old leases will remain as this one here. And then if you have for the new lease, which is Xerox Financial Services for parts and everything, you basically will fall under car. And I'll put this all in the job aid. So that way there won't be any confusion. So this supplier right here, Car Business Systems, that's gonna be like basically for your maintenance, your printing charges, all that stuff.
That's a 20% contingency fee.
Correct.
On the new leases, Jorge, right?
Yes, on the new leases.
Yes.
But
That is-
my question is, when you have vendor for the new leases, it would always be that vendor number 102029. The only thing that changes is the contact, which is a Xerox Financial Services. That's the only thing that changes.
correct.
And also doing that the 20% contingency fee on another purchase order.
That is correct. To confirm if Xerox charging orders for be printing, we should be requesting a separate invoice for that going forward. And next is submitted to the department directly. Will then pay for it by payment rec and e-forms. That's up to you. You know, I recommend having a PO. So that way you don't have to create an e-form and everybody has to go through the approval path a whole bunch of times. You can create a PO for the entire term. If it's a 3-year lease, you create a PO, service PO for 3 years. You know, and then you could, and then let's say if you run out of money, you could also increase it. That's no problem with that.
Hey, Jorge. So that was my question. So just to confirm, that means you would do a goods PO for the lease and then a service PO for the overages, like
Correct.
and you'd estimate about how much they would be.
Correct.
And then if that's all included on one invoice, we should ask Xerox to split that up going forward.
So it is gonna be split up. If
Okay.
you have a new lease, yes.
Okay.
It shouldn't be together because it's two totally different companies.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now, if you come across something different, let me know.
Jorge, why would supplier will send us a bill for the fixed amount though? They should not be sending. They should be sending the bill only for the overages.
So the supplier, so Xerox is only sending the lease amount in one invoice, and then for any overages, the Xerox is not sending it. It's a different company.
Okay, yeah, but for the leases, based on the contract, we already put in a PO, which pays which pays Xerox for that amount every month, right? So why we need a invoice in that case?
No, because they want to review the invoices for their review.
Okay, got it.
You know
They
what I'm
generate,
saying?
but
So-
we don't have to receive that.
No. No, that's something I gotta have a conversation with Elena about.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, any other questions?
Hi, this is Stacy from Ophthalmology.
Hi.
I have a question, more so that I want to make certain I'm understanding correctly. We have the lease cost per copy plan, and it's at a $3,000 amount. When you were showing us how to enter it as a good, I would, in the description, put monthly invoice or annual total $3,000. Because you mentioned that even though we were putting quantity 1 and monthly invoice in advance, it would stretch that $300 throughout the term. Did I misunderstand that?
No, so the 300 would be. So basically, let's say if let's say, let me go back to this. So let me go line item. What's the line item? Oh, this is services. Sorry. Let's see if I got something else here. This material service. All right, yeah, this is good. Okay, so basically, when you put the need by date, right here. So when you put the need by date will be to the end of the contract, right? So let's say if it's January 31st, and what will happen is that 300, right? That 300 will be every month to
8 to 4. right,
January
sounds good.
31st.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
on the back end, like even though the PO is gonna say 300, but that's why we want to make sure all the comments are there, you know. But on the back end, you're gonna have 3 times 7 months. So,
Understood.
so the commitment is gonna say 2100.
So
Yeah,
basically, before I enter that total amount, I'm gonna divide my lease by 12, because our term is only 12 months on an end. And then enter that as my total cost, and in the back end, the math will be done correctly.
Correct.
And do I still need a second line item for overages, because we're on a lease per copy? When we get an invoice, the invoice includes the monthly normal plus the overage. It doesn't come on separate invoices.
Right, and you can add that on here.
Okay,
Yeah, since it's the same supplier.
okay. Thank you.
Sure.
So I just actually checked my Xerox invoice and it's the same thing where the overages are located on the same invoice. So how do you add another line item here?
So basically you will go right back. So once you click, once you create it, you go right back here. And then, so what you do is you basically, let me just do it right quick. Test. With release. Test. 1. Right, so add to cart, right? So then now you're gonna go back and then you're gonna create another one. And then let's say if you have, if it's the same supplier, you need to have what's it called? Like a service PO for the charges. You can just put the charges. And then, you know, whichever the category code is, from when to when. And then you put whichever it is 6,000. And you click add to cart. So now you have both line items here. Now you go checkout. And then now you're gonna have both line items here. You get what I'm saying?
Got it. Yep.
Yep, got it.
Thanks.
So you got one for the lease and one for the charges. And I'll explain this in the job aid as well.
Oh. Wait, I see now. I just realized what you did. I just want to make certain I'm clear. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's
I
okay.
thought you were telling us we needed to create 2 separate POs, but we don't, because we were already in the PR that were created for the term. We just like switching over from goods to services, and then that switch over creates our second line.
Right,
that
if
right?
it's the same supplier, then yes,
All right, I'm fine. Thank you.
sure.
So what's the difference between the overage and the contingency?
It's the Petro.
Yes.
It's the same.
Oh, so, okay, so
Yeah, it's the same, it's the same. There's no difference.
except that now, if you're doing the second line item as a contingency, it would be Carl's then.
Will be car, correct.
And there, okay, so there'll be 2 different line items with 2 different vendors then.
Correct.
But you can do them separately.
You can, yeah, you can.
Thank you.
You can.
Jorge, how will the invoicing work if you have those 2 separate line items, one the goods and one the service? Well, how will they if the invoice is submitted as one invoice with both the billable and the lease?
So that's what I'm saying. So depending on the supplier, see, I'm only gonna talk to Elena for Xerox.
Okay,
You know, so for Xerox, she's gonna get the automatic payment. And then she don't need to submit the invoices for the equipment. Now she has to submit the invoices for the charges. So that's how the system's going to differentiate. So basically what will happen is that AP will see that line item when they go into that PO, and they will allocate that invoice into that line item.
I see. Okay,
All right.
thank you.
And I'll have the training with AP as well, so that way they won't screw nothing up.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right. Any questions on Xerox monthly payments? Are we all good? All right. So Service PO. Now, Service PO is basically to, hold on, let me just take this. So Service PO. Now, you can create a Service PO for your service agreements. If you have, like if you have like oncology supply that you gotta review invoices that they can't submit the invoices through the network, something that you gotta monitor. Basically, this would be like your line of credit option. So this would be it right here for you. So you basically will, however long you need it. If you need it for a year, 2, you put it there. And then you put the description that you need. What is it for? This for like gloves or anything you could think of. For like image first. Like for example, I know Steven Petro has a bunch of stuff on his end that he has to monitor on and purchase on a monthly basis. So this will be your option to create a PO.
Consultation is included here too, right?
Correct.
The thing is that for me, the consultation, it might be a monthly thing. So I could do the start date of that month and an ending of that month, correct?
Now, when you say monthly, is the same amount?
No, it's just like one of the doctors may do a consultation maybe in July.
Yep.
And I won't get the invoice until maybe August. But it's just for that month, for that particular service that he provided as a consultant, consulting.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do it just like that.
From July 1st to July 31st, just letting you know that it was just for that month.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you will put that in the description, and you will attach whatever.
Yeah, the contract, whatever they sign, and the amount of that particular invoice.
Correct.
Thank you. My question is heirs. I know they're not in the network, are they?
Who?
Heirs.
Ears, no.
So are you gonna send us that information to let us know who is in the network and who's not?
I think that's updated on the website.
It updated the website? Can you give us, can you just send me the website then?
Yeah, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so any questions on services? I know there's a job aid for service POs out there. But if anyone needs clarification, please let me know.
This is Muck again. Jorge, I might have asked this question and forgot your answer. When we created the funds reservations for the previous service contracts, if those extended like till 2025, do we have to create a new service PO with the new Ariba system?
No.
Or will that still be valid?
No, that will still be valid. So any fund reservations that you created in the past that expires next year or this
Right.
year, or the many years,
Right.
that will still remain.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything with those. It's just the
No.
new maintenance contracts that we have too.
Correct.
Okay. And the service amount, is that the total amount of the contract or is that the monthly payment?
The total amount of the contract.
Okay. Thank you.
Jorge, what about the new funds reservation that we need to create? I have some ones that is gonna expire.
So you have one fund reservation that's going to expire.
Actually, it's not expiring, you know. I think I spoke to you about this one. Accounts payable told me to do it yearly.
Yeah.
This is a 10-year contract. I'm using the second year, so I have eight more years to go, but they just told me to do it yearly. I don't know why.
I don't know why they told you to do it yearly. We can create, I think we could edit the current one you currently have and extend it to the 10 years.
Okay,
After this meeting, ping me and then we'll go over it.
perfect. Thank you.
Do you still have to add in the justification letter?
Yes. So anything, so this is new. So anything over 10,000 and we're trying to lift that limit to 25K. You know, due to the federal guidelines changing. So we will send out the notification, but yes, that is required for services or materials for non-preferred suppliers.
Question for fund reservation. I know going forward, it's going to be just like a JV, like we were doing in the system when we were doing like JV entries. Is that the same format for fund reservation?
So fund reservation is eliminated completely for company code Weill Cornell Medicine. Now, if you have RAJV, then that will continue to be used as a fund reservation. But everything else will be under Service Pio.
So fund reservation will be done under the Service PO going
Correct.
forward. Okay.
Going forward, yeah, there's no more creating fund reservations. All
I
right,
have a question about McKesson.
yes.
So I did an EMF and for my catalog order, so I'm all set with that going forward. But for example, for some products, for example, say some flu vaccines where I might have had to do a pre-book outside of the catalog.
Mhm.
How do I handle that when that comes due? Because I can order those vaccines through the classic McKesson catalog, but I also don't necessarily want to have to do a separate payment line or anything if it's all going to be coming out of the same source.
Gotcha. So you create an EMF, right? But then
There are some products I had to reserve outside of the catalog.
outside of the catalog.
Right. So
And do you call for that or how do
I
you-
mean, right. So they send a PDF in February for flu shots, right? So I filled out the PDF now, reserving flu shots that won't arrive until September.
Okay. Then you will get an invoice for that once you receive the product,
Well,
correct?
under the old system, I would just give them the LOC number and the 42 number, and they would just
So-
generate the invoices on the LOC.
I gotcha. So here you will basically create it as a service PO for McKesson,
Uh-huh.
and then you will describe what is it for. Then you could attach like one of the like what you mentioned, the PDF file for the flu vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
And you could test that form, and then once you get the invoice, you could I mean, once you get the PO, you can provide them that PO.
Okay, so I should just create a service PO for that separate order,
Correct.
independent of what I have booked for with my EMF.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right, any other questions? All right, we're all good. So I'll let you guys know with the service PO for the automatic payments. And I'm gonna work on that job aid for Xerox, and I will send that out to the end of day today.
Thank you, Jorge.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
you started something with the, here with the image first, and then we got all the questions.
Oh. Yeah, so image first will be on the service PO.
Okay, so we'll be under service, and we fill in all the usual details.
Right. You fill in all the usual details, you put the start date and then the end date, because I know we do it yearly. It's up to you. If you want to do it for 2 years, that's fine.
Mhm.
I have no problem with that.
And just state that in the description.
Correct. Just state that in the script, because I know for image first, unit text, those are, they do services for us. We already have a contract in place with them, so yeah, you just
And I don't need to attach a quote or anything.
no, not for that, no.
Okay, all right, great.
Yeah, now if you get a rejection, let me know.
All right, thanks.
All right,
Thank you, Jorge.
no problem. All right. Thanks,
Hey,
everyone.
Jordan, Christina,
Yeah.
sorry, real quick. So
Yeah.
do I call you via Teams right now when we're done?
Yeah, call me.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Hi, sorry, I have a short question to ask. So if I request the service for some like the equipment fixing or repairing, so I should also go to the service, right?
That is correct.
So, but
Yeah.
which one I choose? Because like this is just one-time fix. So the date, start date, and end date.
So what do you mean? Which one you choose? The category?
Yes, for example, like some like a freezer or minus 150, minus 80, we need to like fix the door or something like that.
That's a good question. But it's for hearing aids, right?
I'm not very sure. Yeah, because I looked through all those.
So
all
this is
those,
what we have.
Yeah, I don't know which one to choose. Like all those kind of like fixing, repairing, those kind of service.
So you can choose this one here,
Choose the hearing one.
the
Okay.
hearing aid analyzer test systems.
Okay.
Now you use it for the patients, or you use it for like research?
Research.
Yeah, so it'll be this right here.
Okay, so the date, because like, after we request the PO, so we send to the company, they come, so we don't know exactly which time they're coming. So I just choose random, just give them like 2 or 3 months for the start date and end date.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
That is correct.
okay, good. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. take
Thank
care.
you.